Insight and insight meditation. Vipassana, bhavana. Vipassana means insight, the development of wisdom to realize the impermanence, suffering, and non-selfness of the compounded things, saghara, and the true state of compounded things by knowing that compounded things are under the law of common characteristics, namely impermanence, suffering, and non-selfness. Therefore, the insight meditation is exercise to develop the mind to give rise to wisdom in realizing the truth of compounded things as they are. Insight practice is the only one way of meditation development by the four foundations of mindfulness, Mahasatipatthana Sutta, which means mindfulness on body, feelings, mind, and mind objects. The omniscient Buddha approved that the meditation practiced by means of Mahasatipatthana Sutta in Buddhism absolutely leads meditators to fruits, the cessation of suffering. In this regard, we all should understand that vipassana means the four foundations of mindfulness. The meditators who follow the meditation practice must have a good knowledge about the mind and matter first, because they are the only sense objects of insight meditation, not others. Their practice surely bears fruits to them. In conclusion, insight meditation can be exercised according to the four foundations of mindfulness. The method of insight meditation is the only one way to achieve the cessation of all suffering. Insight meditation should be exercised as follows. While practicing meditation, meditators have to be aware of the mind and always directed to the body. Do not let the conditioned mind flee from the body to perceive external sense objects. Whenever, realizing absent-mindedness, the meditators have to draw back the conditioned mind and make it mindful of the physical body only. If the mind still wanders perceiving other sense objects again, meditators have to do the same again. Before practicing insight meditation, we should know first why to be mindful of the physical body only. One reason is that the meditation practice makes meditators realize the truth of the body, impermanence, suffering, and dissolution at last. To realize the truth of the body as it is, we must have the mind with perfect mindfulness and clear consciousness. The early mentioned mind must have established and concentrated to be the efficient mind full of wisdom that can realize the truth of life. This is the attainment of insight. Another reason is that ordinary men's minds is undeveloped. It is naturally subject to defilements, more or less. When they do not develop their mind to the high level of attaining insight, their mind is subject to defilements, namely the perversity of mind. Without mindfulness and clear consciousness, they misunderstand and do not see the truth as it is. They, therefore, have to develop their own mind by cultivating mindfulness and clear consciousness on the physical and mental phenomena all the time. They can attain path and fruition, magga and phala, in the reasonable time. Therefore, all meditators have to develop their own mind to be mindful of the body to realize the truth. How is the real state of the body? To know the truth, whether the body is suffering or not, they have to be mindful of the physical body all the time for researching how the truth of the body is. Mindfulness means attentiveness. Without attentiveness, it is mindlessness. In this regard, we have to develop the mind for perfect mindfulness by mindfully noting the body to realize the truth of life as it is all the time. Our body is the place to develop our mind or to mindfully note the truth of the body. If meditators develop mind by the right way of the four foundations of mindfulness, the mind with perfect and efficient mindfulness will appear. The mind with perfect mindfulness gradually develops more and more as the four foundations of mindfulness, satipatthana, mean occurrence of mindfulness. Another reason why in the Dhamma practice we have to develop mind by mindfulness on the physical body only is that the supreme purpose of the Dhamma practice in Buddhism is to cease all suffering. In order to cease all suffering, we must practice the teachings till we can cease suffering first. Doing so is called attainment of insight knowledge. We then can cease suffering. To attain insight knowledge, we must develop the mind by mindfully noting physical body only as a watcher all the time, so as to be able to cultivate mindfulness and clear comprehension by which we can realize the truth of our lives, which is the arising and dissolution of the mind and matter, nama and rupa, all the time. As a result, we will realize the truth of lives, impermanence, suffering, and selflessness. There are only the arising and dissolution of the mind and matter all the time. After more practice, we can realize suffering or attain the insight knowledge. Another important reason is that our minds are in our bodies. When there is body, there is the mind, which can perceive several sensations of sense objects. In the Dhamma practice in Buddhism, the enlightened one taught disciples to develop their own minds. Human beings are good or bad depending on their minds. If their minds are well developed, they can remove defilements and attain cessation of suffering by the ability of each individual's wisdom resulting from the Dhamma's practice. The omniscient Buddha taught that body and mind go together. When there is body, there is mind. Thus, when persons pass away, there is no mind. Suffering does not stay anywhere else but in the body. This means that we can see changes and impermanence appearing in our bodies, and it cannot control them. It is because our bodies are naturally impermanent, suffering, and selfless. The arising and dissolution of the mind and matter appear in our bodies all the time. This is the suffering resulting from birth, old age, sickness, and death. In conclusion, all the truth of life we want to know and have insight into is in our body, being mind, suffering, matter, and mind, mindfulness, and clear comprehension. This means that our bodies are the place to research for dhammas. To attain insight knowledge, meditators have to develop mind by mindfully noting the physical body all the time to realize the truth of compounded things, saghara. By doing so, mindfulness and clear comprehension will appear. Another important thing which should be known before the Dhamma practice by the four foundations of mindfulness, or vipassana bhavana, is what mind is and what matter is. It is because in vipassana bhavana practice we know that the mind and matter as sense objects all the time in all postures of Dhamma practice. Therefore we must know what the mind and matter mean and where to be mindful of. The mind and matter can be noted at 6 sense doors or 6 sense organs. The mind and matter appearing at the body door or body organ are the most important things because they are used for observing the practice by 4 foundations of mindfulness. Therefore, we should know and keep these things in mind, clearly feeling that cold, heat, softness, and solidness appear at the body door or body organ is called matter, rupa. Clearly realizing that cold, heat, softness, or solidness appear at the body door or body organ is called mind, nama. Knowing what mind is and what matter is at the time of practice, we must mindfully note that mind and matter in the time when we clear feeling manifests. In the vipassana bhavana practice, meditators are required to remember by heart the state of the mind and matter. 4 foundations of mindfulness. 4 satipathanas mean mindfulness on body, feelings, mind, and mind objects like seeing of eye, hearing of ear, etc., as the sense objects throughout the time of insight meditation. Insight meditation, vipassana bhavana, means that at the time of Dhamma practice we, Buddhist meditators, chant at the same time as directing mindfulness on the mind and matter. The chanting words used are Buddho, the Buddha's sacred name.